Hello there and welcome to Waffle and War with Command Battle Win. I am Joe and this is Crispy Chicken Caesar Salad. Say hello, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
Hello, Chris. Now, you may have noticed that I called you Chris and not Christopher because for some reason, whenever we do these podcasts, I call you Christopher, and I don't know why because I don't call you Christopher in real life.
No, you always call me a lot of names that cannot be repeated for legal reasons, as well as you call me Chris.
Yes, Christopher.
So, my friends call me Chris. Some people call me Crispy. My daughter calls me Crispy, as does most of my family and close friends. And your children call me Uncle Crispy.
Yeah, that's true. I call you I call you Christopher sometimes. I've noticed.
You do. That's normally when I'm exasperating you. Is that the right word? When I'm doing your head in.
Do you?
And you're like,
do
Christ Almighty, give me strength.
Christopher, pipe down, you dickhead. It is time for Warhammer.
Oh my God, that is exactly how it goes.
Right, anyway, so today we're going to do it really, really quick. So we're going to try and limit ourselves to 30 minutes.
Before we start, we've got to make apologies. As Bot. He's not here again.
Yes, he's currently driving from Leeds all the way back home, so he is unavailable.
Are we allowed to say Leeds?
Well, I mean, we've said where we're from before, so yeah, Leeds. Anyway,
Leeds. Yeah.
So he's no longer painting the Imperial fence or the fence of the Imperial.
No, he's finished that. Although I still maintain that is a Sons of Horus green, as I imagine it when I listen to the Horus Heresy.
Oh dear. Anyway, so swiftly moving on, very quickly, we are trying to limit ourselves to a nice short video / audio / whatever it is you're doing and listening to us on. And today we are going to be talking about the lovely Xenos Tyranid looking guys. Now, for those on YouTube, you can see the rules up on the screen at the moment. Those on Spotify, you'll just have to listen and follow. And we're trying to do everybody as quickly as possible before we first get together and war, which was going to happen today, but we can't. So we're going to talk about Warhammer instead. No. The next best thing.
Illnesses in children and adults stopped us from meeting today, so hopefully Thursday.
Excellent. Right, so the Tyranids have got synapse, and they've always had synapse, but it changes every edition, I think. So this is basically for 10th edition. When you are subjected to the battle shock test, you roll 3d6 instead of 2d6. There you go.
Do you then discard one?
I assume so. I don't really know. I really should look into how the battle shock test works, because I've not actually looked into them. I haven't got a clue. I keep hearing it, and I know that the Tyranids are heavily based around battle shock tests. Anyway, so once per battle, the Tyranids are unable to unleash Shadow in the Warp. So for those of you that have you don't know, normally the Shadow in the Warp is a dark. It's a shadow in the warp that stops the psychic guys from doing what the psychic guys do best. And in the previous editions, it basically subjected a -1. Did I say subject? Yeah, -1 to psychic abilities of other psychics within 18 inches or whatever. Now they've got rid of that, so forget what that was. We're now doing something completely different, and this once per. So yeah. So in your army faction, in your battle phase, in your command phase, once per battle, you can subject everybody. I keep saying subject everybody of the enemies to take battle shock tests. So all of the enemy models have to do battle shock, which is going to be quite useful if your enemy is on all of the objective markers and you really want to make them cry. You can say, "Hey, Chris."
So this is basically applying to those units that don't require a battle shock test because they've not lost. Because I believe the battle shock test has to be done when you're at half the units or less, or half the wounds on a single model or less, or something like that.
Possibly, yes, yeah, I believe something like that.
I believe it's basically a bit like the old. I think it's like the old, morale test, where I think basically. You've got to roll above a certain number, basically.
Something like that. We'll cross that bridge when we need to.
Which would make sense why the 2d6 rather than 3d6 makes a difference, because then you've got, sort of up to 6 chance more of passing it.
Tell you what, if you're listening right now, write it in the comment. Tell us what battle shock is in the most simplest, easiest possible way you can, because I am not clever. Right. So,
and we've not actually read all the full rules yet, which is another reason why it was okay that we're not playing tonight.
yeah, definitely. So the other thing that Tyranids have got is hyper adaptation. So in ninth edition, and I don't know about 8th because I never actually got to play them. I had them but never played them. In 10th edition, you get to choose one of 3 once per battle, I think. At the start of the battle round, select one of the following hyper adaptations to activate for the Tyranids. Yeah, I don't know whether you can keep going and keep going. Basically, these are very similar to the combat doctrines. So before, you would choose 2 of them from before the battle starts, and they did loads of stuff, and I always used to forget them. So now they're much easier. So you basically get sustained hit ability against enemy infantry and swarms, and then the hyper aggression is lethal hits against monsters and machines, and the hive predators gets you precision ability if a critical hit is scored on a character, whatever all that means.
This reads to me like
Yes.
at the start of your first battle round,
Yeah.
you pick one, and then that's it throughout the entire. Because it says the units from your army until the end of the battle. So I think it's at the very start. You look at the layout of the board.
Yeah.
Oh look, I'm up against a very troopy sort of, lots of units and swarms. I'm going to go for whichever's going to help against that. Oh look,
that's even better.
there's 3 or 4 baby brutes on the board, so I think it'll be easier to remember, and I think that's what 10th is trying to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to be easier to remember because you've got the one. It's not going to change. You're just going to have that buff throughout.
Yeah.
But you get to choose once everything's laid out before you start your first sort of battle round. You can go, right, this is the ability that they're all going to have throughout the entire game.
Yes, perfect. I love it.
That's how it reads to me. Comments
below
if I'm wrong. We do love comments, and we are enjoying you guys interacting more and
Yes.
sort of, enjoying what we're doing.
Yeah, bringing you along on the journey of our discovery of 10th edition. Right, so running through the what are these called? Stratagems. So you've got rapid regeneration, which no longer brings back models. It gives them a feel no pain ability. If you're in synapse, and if you're in synapse range, it's a 5+ ability. So rapid regeneration used to heal up to D3. Now it shrugs wounds off potentially. Nice. Okay. Bit of a nerf, but never mind. You whatever. I'm not sour.
So that doesn't make sense for the name of it, really, does it? Because it's saying rapid regeneration, but it's not. It's more like a resilience.
Absolutely.
It's basically a cheaper, disgusted and resilient, which I can see why the Death Guard players from yesterday have been commenting to say they're not happy with the loadout. This is a good example of why.
Yeah.
Because it costs less and does more for you than Disgusted and Resilient does for an army that's supposed to pride themselves on their resilience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is they sell it as the armor regrows flesh and muscle sinuate knots. Don't know. I probably mispronounced that. Back together as though they've never been harmed. So they shrug those wounds off.
For me, a rapid regeneration would be they get back up again. But that was particularly difficult with yours when you.
Oh no! They've still got that. That's endless swarm. Rapid regeneration before was they healed the wound model. So like I used to use it quite a lot on the big heavy guys on the Tyranids.
When you regain like your D3 wounds onto it, or
yeah.
Oh, that was mean. Yeah. Okay. I can see the nerf. No, it's not as bad as I was expecting it. So, but I can see that this is going to. I think it will still cause problems, and it's still going to give you a level of resilience. But it's not. You're not sort of guaranteed wounds back. Whereas, like now, you could still fail those. So you could spend the money. You could spend the command point and fail the saving throws of the 6+ or the 5+.
Yeah.
Feel no pain abilities. So you could still roll lower than that and fail it.
Yeah.
Whereas your other one, you were guaranteed to at least get so many, at least one or 2 wounds back.
Yeah,
now you're so I can see that is quite the nerf.
Yeah.
Are other Tyranid players angry about this? Has this upset them?
I've not really looked into the Hive mind and see what and got a sense of what's happening. To be fair, but yeah, if you're a Tyranid player, comment.
If you are upset, all I can say is ha.
Ha! All right.
Someone someone who has had many an evening ruined by Tyranids.
Anyway, adrenaline surge. So that used to do something with the models that are equipped with adrenal glands. It now doesn't. Until the end of the fight phase, each model in one of those selected units makes attacks as a successful unmodified hit roll of a 5+ calls a critical hit, so you can do a bit more damage. Death Frenzy is on a 4+. That model gets to fight before being removed from the battle. I like that. Overrun is a useful, so you get to consolidate 6 inches. This one's a bit wordy. Consolidate move. It can move up to 6 inches instead of 3 inches, provided that unit ends in consolidation move with the unit coherency and within engagement range of one or more enemy models. If your unit is within synapse range of the army and not within engagement range of an enemy model, instead of making a consolidation move, it makes a normal 6-inch move. And breathe. Did you get all that, Chris?
So, yes,
you
just
get to
clarify,
move again.
So I believe, based on watching Winter's video the other day, that we used to be able to consolidate at the end of a battle towards the closest enemy unit. You can't do that anymore.
Well, okay, fair enough.
So you can only consolidate into combat or towards an objective marker.
Okay, fair enough.
So is what Winters was saying. So he had a unit of Death Guard that were basically on an objective. They destroyed a unit, and then he said that they're not going to move because they can't move 3 inches to the closest enemy unit, even though they want to. They can only move closer to into combat, which they couldn't, or onto an objective, which he was already on one. So that has changed slightly. So that's where that will make a difference.
Yeah, we need to look into that a bit.
Yeah. So I think that's going to allow you to basically the overrun part. I imagine that's going to be you've just killed a unit and now you can basically tag someone back in. You know, we were saying you can consolidate forward and tag someone in.
Yeah.
So now you're going to have more to jump on and then swarm in. So basically you just overrun it, keeps coming. So I think that could be really good, especially narratively. A really good stratagem.
It was in 9th edition, and it was basically in a melee. I think in the melee, if you kill the enemy, you get to then move again. Basically,
I like it.
I never used it. Anyway, Synaptic Insight. What does that do? Select one of the hyper adaptations at the end of the battle. That hyper adaptation is now active for those selected. So here I can then change my hyper adaptation for one unit.
Is that the thing you select at the very start?
Yeah. So then I can choose if I've got like an assassin sort of model, like a lictor. I could choose him to have precision against character. That's good. And Endless Swarm is Endless Magnitude.
We've just discussed that.
Yeah, D3 plus 3 models returned.
And that's one command point. So if you're looking at like your swarm stuff, you're going to use that rather than the disgustingly resilient. But then if you've got like a HQ character or a monster or vehicle, you're going to more likely to use your disgustingly resilient one.
Well, I can only use endless. Yeah, the Endless Magnitude can only be used on models that have got that keyword. So basically the troops equivalent, like the Hormagaunts, the Termagaunts, and the Gargoyles.
Makes sense, because otherwise you can't use it. So
no. And the other new ones as well. So they've got some enhancements, which I'm really going to briefly go through. So Alien Cunning. So these used to be certain words in 8th and 9th. So Alien Cunning used to be objective secured in 8th. 9th now it's changed. Sorry, 9th. In 10th it's now changed to Tyranid models only. Both models players have deployed their army. Select 3 Tyranid models and redeploy them, which is quite good. Then you've got Synaptic Linchpin. Yeah, that one. Basically extends synaptic range to 9 inches. So select a friendly Tyranid unit within 9 inches of a bearer. That unit's within synapse of your army. Yeah, so it increases synapse of or whatever. Perfectly adapt. Once per turn, you can re-roll 1 hit roll, 1 rune roll, 1 damage roll, 1 advance roll, 1 charge roll, and 1 saving throw made for the bearer. Again, these are like the old relics. And adaptive biology, you get a 5+ feel no pain.
So the perfectly adapted, just going back.
Yes.
Because you got a bit too fast for me.
I'm rushing through because we've got 15 minutes to discuss the other models.
Yeah, slow down. We can go over the time frame.
No, we've got 30 minutes. Come on.
We don't want to lose people though.
Yeah, we want more people.
You've lost me. So the perfectly adapted. So that's just to clarify, because it will come up when we're playing. you don't get to re-roll all of those things.
No, I imagine you just get to re-roll one. You only get to choose one,
because the only bit that has made me realise that is when it says charge roll or one save and throw. The bearer makes me think you can choose or from one of them. Yeah. And it doesn't say you have to choose it before you start playing. So you can put it on and say, at some point, I'm going to re-roll one of these.
Yeah, yeah.
Although I feel like that's just come out a bit of a command re-roll, really.
It is a little bit, if I'm honest, but it's a free command re-roll, so I suppose it's not too bad. Right, yeah. So I have chosen 5 models that I would like to quickly go through and have a little look. So the Hormagaunts are the first ones. So nice, simple. Most people that play Tyranid know what they are. Those that don't, they are the raptor-looking guys. I call them raptors. And they've got the little Hormagaunt scything talons on the front. I really like these. They haven't really changed an awful lot, apart from Bounding Leap. So this unit is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced. So it's got a base movement of 10 inches. Then you can advance it, and then you can charge it. So you're going to get them up the board ridiculously fast, and there's 10 in a squad, which is crazy.
And these are the ones where you in a battle turn around and said, yeah, it's really weird. We were like, it's really weird they're going to get 1 attack each.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, actually, no, it's multiple. Was it 4 attacks then?
3 attacks each.
Or was it 3? So it's still 3 attacks then.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if they've changed the stats or anything like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. But they've got -1 AP to their weapons. So let me just have a quick look on Warpedia.
I think they were strength 3.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, you had something that gave them on a 6 they automatically wounded.
Oh yes, that was the
remember,
toxic sacks. Yeah, toxic sacks. That was.
Do you still have that?
No.
Oh, no, that's a shame, because that made a massive difference when you were playing, because obviously you had 10 of them, didn't you? Was that right? 3 attacks each, 30 rolls. On your hit roll for your weapon skill, you got about 4 or 5 6s. And then
dude, are you walking? Sorry, are you walking away from your mic and back again? It sounds like you're walking backwards and forwards.
No, genuinely, I've got the headset on, so it's staying with me. I'm not moving.
Oh, it sounds like you're walking away from the headset and coming back again, like really, really quickly. That's fine. Don't know. Well, we shall persevere. So their stats look pretty much exactly the same. Their leadership is an 8+. That's pretty crazy. So unless they're in, I don't know. That's crazy. But yeah, their stats look exactly. So they were -1 AP, doing 1 damage before. Strength was 3. Yeah, so they're exactly the same. 3 attacks. They've got objective count is 2, so that's quite useful to have the double. Next is my Mr. Licht face. I like Mr. Lichter. The Lichter.
Which page is this?
Page 37.
Thank you. 37. Lichter. Yeah, lick his face. I hear you.
Mr. Lick his face. I really like him. I've liked him in 9th. He was a lot of fun. He's lost quite a bit of his abilities by the looks of the data sheet on 9th compared to 10th, but it's got precision, which I can't remember what that does. I think that does something to do with characters in melee. I think it lets me target a character that's joined a squad, perhaps. I could be wrong. Comments below if that's incorrect.
What was that for, sorry?
So he's got the keyword precision. And as far as I'm aware, so when you've got a leader that joins the squad becomes the leader's bodyguard, and you can't attack the leader. Basically, like, look out, sir.
Okay.
But when you've got a precision... Yeah.
I like it. And you've got a feeder tendrils ability as well.
Yeah, you sound really far away again, dude.
I'm not sure what's going on.
Is it a dodgy mic?
Well, I'm just wondering if it's...
oh, that's better.
I wonder if it's the laptop mic that's picking up.
Oh, it might be. Right, so the Lictor gets to fight first in melee. He's got Infiltrator, which I think it means he can deploy 8 inches or something. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in there. Lone Operative, which I think it means he can't join a squad. I don't know what that means. And Stealth, which means he's got -1 to incoming enemy ballistic skill. The feeder tendrils looks quite good. He gets to eat a character and I get a command point. That's kind of sexy. I like that.
Yeah, so each time a model destroys an enemy character model, you gain one command point. That's going to be quite handy.
Yeah.
Do I sound any different?
You sound better, yes.
Okay, I'll change my settings. Pheromone trail.
Yeah, rapid ingress stratagem. I don't know what that is.
You can target a model with this ability with the rapid ingress stratagem for no command points.
Hang on, I'm searching what it is. I'm not too sure.
That wasn't listed as stratagems, was it?
No, unless it's like an overall general stratagem type thing.
From the core rulebook that we've not read yet.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, it's probably that. But I like him. I like the model. My lictor, I positioned him so he's kind of got one arm up, one tendril thing up, one tendril thing down. Kind of very similar to how the new Deathstalker. I don't know if you've seen that. He's got the Death Leap. Sorry, the new Death Leap model looks very cool. He's in a very similar position to that. So I'm looking forward to bringing him. And then for me, the elephant in the room. What have I done? There we go. The bit that I'm very upset is the Zoanthropes. That's page 53. So I'm a little bit upset by the fact that the Neurothrope has basically been downgraded to a sergeant in the squad. So he's just.
I'm not upset about this.
I know. So but I can't use him as a leader. I used to like having him as my HQ, but they
you used to buff him. That was why.
Yeah, with the relics, but yeah. So they've took a bit. So they have and they haven't. I'm trying to find the 9th editions, but my internet seems to have just stopped working. There we go. So they have been nerfed and they haven't been nerfed. They've basically been brought into the 10th edition like everything else. So they've still got their equivalent to that sort of psychic attacks because it's now a D3 per. So you warp blast, witch fires, a psychic and blast. So it's blast. So you're always going to do a minimum of 3 on a squad of. Is it? Oh no, it's not. It's +1 for every 5 model now, something like that.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what blast is. Warpedia's down. Oh no, it's back again. No, it's not working for me. Oh, so they've got D3 attacks. Ballistic skill is a +3. Strength is 7, -2 AP, doing D3 damage. And then they've got the focused version, which is strength 12. So that's like a tank killer almost for me.
D6 +1 damage.
Yeah, so they only get 1 attack each, but then it's D6 +1.
Which is painful. So this is per what that you've got in your unit.
I assume so. Yeah. There'll be 3 in a squad. So there'll be 4 in a squad.
3 in a squad.
4.
Then you're doing 4. So you're potentially doing 4 D6 +1s, which means you're doing a minimum of 8 damage with those 4 dudes.
Yeah.
D6. So you roll a 1 and get a 1, that's 2.
Yeah.
So that's a minimum of 8 damage. And now my maths, 7 times 4 is 28. So at a maximum of 28 damage. Holy shit.
Yeah, so you always have the Zoanthrope and then 1 Neurothrope, 2 Zoanthropes. And then you can have a maximum of 6. And I've got 6. I've got 3 ready to be painted up.
Their invulnerable save is a 4+ now. I'm sure yours used to be a 3+.
It was a 3+, yeah. And the Neurothrope was a 2+, I think, something, or his save was a 2+ something.
That's making me feel a bit better because they were just too hard to kill.
Oh, actually, no. No, the Zoanthrope is still a 4+. What do you mean? I'm looking at 9th. So the Zoanthrope is a 4+ invul save, and it's still a 4+ invul save.
So how come you were getting 3+ and stuff on?
So that's the.
Did you have buffs?
No, that's the HQ guy. So the Neurothrope has got I think it's a 3+ invul save and a 2+ flat up save. Let me have a little look. Something like that.
Okay. I'm sure you've played 2+ invulnerable save before now.
Not on the bigger guys, the 3 of them. Because those ones.
The HQ one.
Yeah, the HQ. Yeah, he's got different stats. Warpedia's not working for me.
I'm sure it's going on the Zoanthropes that you were having an invulnerable save of 3+.
It might be when we played Crusade.
Oh, okay. Might be, yeah. We played a lot of Crusade, didn't we, with Tyranids? That could be why I buffs then. Yeah, but I'm liking that because it looks like I could actually shoot them off the table quickly.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm going to need to do. I'm going to need to really target the hell out of them.
So the Neurothrope, the HQ, he had a 3+ invul save. and a 5+ save. That's probably what you're thinking of. And I always used to run them in together anyway, pretty much. So they've got Leech, Spirit Leech, which is a aura psychic ability. So while an enemy is within 6 inches, each time that unit fails a battle shock, it suffers D3 mortal wounds, and for one model in the unit regains D3 lost wounds. So I get to hurt you, and then I get to eat it, and then make me better.
You're stealing wounds off people.
That's good. I like that. And
then, do you know, they are mean, dude. They are mean.
And then they've got a 6-inch aura, which is a 6-inch invul save for enemy Tyranids within 6 inches. That's quite cool. I like that.
Ooh.
They're still pretty mean, but they're mean. So they're not mean like they were, but they're mean in their own new way. And I like that. I like that. Because it's like they said, they've rewritten the rules. It's all completely different, and they're building up from the ground. Anyway, page 16. We are going to look at no, not page 16. Sorry. Oh, I want the gargoyles. That's who I'm painting up at the moment. Yeah, I'm happy. I like the Zoanthrope, Neurothrope, but I just don't really like the fact that he's no longer a leader. I kind of wish that. Yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. Gargoyles.
Gargoyles are on page 29.
29. So these are the guys that I'm currently painting at the moment. I've got 10 of them to the left of me, and I've also got the winged Hive Tyrant. He's now done. Just need to finish doing his base. These
are cool. These look cool.
Yeah, I've wanted to play these for a while. I got really excited. That's why I painted them up for 10th edition, because there's the new winged Hive dude as well.
Are you going to be bringing them in your first game for 10th with your nits?
I think so, yeah. So these guys, if you finish your turn and you're not in engagement range, you can make a normal move of 6. But then I can't charge. So I can move, shoot, and then at the end of your shooting phase, after this unit has shot, if it is not within engagement range with the enemy unit, it can make a normal move up to 6 inches. So again, fucking fast fly is up the board. Objective secure 2. Their flesh ball weapons are assault. The stats, so they've lost the -1 AP, which they had in 9th. 1 damage. Ballistic skill is still 4+, and they do 1 attack each. And then they've also got blinding venom, which is a melee attack, which is equally as still shit. However, I like the fact I like big swarmy models, and they can deep strike. They lost that ability in 9th edition, so basically they can now fly into the battlefield, which they lost in 9th.
That's cool. I mean, to be fair, they're going to look good on the battlefield.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's all about. It's just having fun.
Yeah, it is, man. It is.
And bringing something that's not going to destroy me too fast, so I get a chance to shoot them down. I hear you.
And talking about shooting things down or being killed, we'll move on to my final model that I'm looking forward to, the Tyrannofex, and that's on page. That's on page 81 of the Codex. Move the troops.
Move the troops.
So this, as we like to call him, the what is it? The pussycat we call him, don't we?
Oh yeah, this is the cat
with the penis gun.
Yeah. Well, with the penis gun and the starfish.
So, movement is still 12. His movement is 9 inches. His toughness is now 12. So he's as strong as a tank.
Good.
His saving throw is still a 2+. His wounds are a beastly 16, which is actually 1 less than 17.
Is it?
Yeah, that's 1 less. Some maths for you there.
It's also 4 less than 20. I like it.
He was 17.
Is there any relevance to 17?
Well, he was 7. His wounds were 17 in 9th. It's now 16. So he's been nerfed by 1 wound.
He's dropped a wound and gained a lot of strength.
Yes, he's now got the ability resilient organism. Totally doesn't say orgasm. Resilient orgasm. Each time an attack is allocated with this model, subtract 1 to the damage characteristics of that attack. So that's disgustingly resilient, isn't it?
Oh my gosh. So basically, Tyranids are more disgustingly resilient than the poster boys of disgustingly resilience.
Yep. Oh dear.
Now I see why a lot of people said...
Here he goes. Here
he goes. This is why a lot of people said that our title was misleading on the disgustingly resilience thing for the Death Guard, and we're just trying to be optimistic. If we'd done it the other way around, the title would have said, "Everybody else has stolen the disgustingly resilience and left us with nothing."
With nothing at all.
Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nothing, mate. Nothing.
So the one thing that I like about 10th and that we've mentioned before is that these big chunky models, these big tanks and things, they don't degrade like they used to. So 1 to 5 wounds, subtract 1 to hit roll. I like that. Weapons wise,
it's clean, isn't it?
Yeah. Weapons wise, pretty much the same. So acid spray is a D6 plus 6 still. Ballistic skill is none. Strength is 6, -2 AP. It was -3 AP, still doing 2 damage. Hive bore is sustained and heavy and twin linked, so that's quite good actually. That means you get to re-roll your wound rolls. It's twin linked. Sustained hits, I can't remember what that means. We did say last time, I've forgotten, but it's 1. So I think it's every 6 you get an extra 1 or something. I don't know. And it's heavy, which
do you
means
get
something.
All of these, or because look at this, it says war gear options. This model's flesh borer hive can be replaced with one of the following: acid spray or rupture cannon.
I think you've just answered your own question there, my friend.
So you don't get all of these.
No, you either get acid spray or the rupture cannon or the hive bore stinger. You still get this stinger Savaloys.
Right. So you basically get 2 guns.
2 guns. Yes. Yeah.
But you've got the option of choosing from 3. 1 out of 3, and then you get 1 that's a standard loadout.
Yeah. Now,
okay, that's not as bad then.
No, it's not bad. I mean, points wise, they haven't brought out the individual points value, but we just know the model is like 225 points or something stupid like that. He's a tank.
So they're basically saying in any.
Oh, where have you gone? You've gone.
Maybe is that better?
Yeah, you ran into the distance then.
Okay. It must be taking the microphone from the screen on my laptop rather than the headset, because I've just went to move away from the chair, and it made a difference.
Well, we'll sort that out. Sorry, everybody listening. Yeah, so the powerful limbs have gone from 1 AP down to 0 AP, doing 2 damage, strength 8. Everything else is the same. But they've lost the upgrade. So in 9th edition, you've got upgrades that you could apply in the adaptive physiologies. So like dermic symbiosis, I think it was, which was a +4 invul save, gone. And the other ones that I never used to use, gone. Oh, yeah, gone. And that's it. That is our very quick rundown of 10th edition Tyranid models that I am excited to play and see and finish painting. And
so out of Space Marines, Death Guard, and Tyranids, which ones are you thinking are going to be the sort of the ones to watch?
I don't know. I think probably at the moment, I imagine it's going to be Tyranids. No, it's going to be Space Marines because they've got the new Terminators, so they're going to be getting all the love. It's going to be Space Marines.
But I feel like Tyranids are still going to be holding their own. It's pretty difficult to take out.
Yes, I think so too.
It'd be interesting to see how Necrons start to look, because we've not looked at any other swarmy based armies yet.
No, you're right, we're not.
So it will be interesting to see how they look like they're going to shape up. But I think you're right. I think that actually, looking at it, I think Death Guard are going to have a tough run. I think. And I think Tyranids are going to fare quite well, which it makes sense. Space Marines, Tyranids, they're in the Leviathan box set. It makes sense that they're going to be the 2 stronger armies to start with.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It'll be interesting to see with Necrons whether or not they follow suit, or whether they follow in the chaos steps of having a difficult run, or whether they, whether the trend follows.
Yeah. Right. I look forward to discussing the Necrons with you actually, because I had a little sneaky peek the other day, and I thought I was like, ooh, because I know that the Necron community have not been particularly that happy, but I read it and was like, ooh, there's some naughty little Necrons in that actually. So I look forward to getting your opinion as the master Necron player in the what are we in the
battle
group thing that we're in. Excellent. All right. Thanks for listening.
Right.
Like, subscribe, tell your mums, move the troops. And I think we've covered all bases. All right.